Kia everyone, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Amy and today I have for you my first ever completed colouring book, Any Day. I am so excited to sit down and flip this for you. So there will be a version that I should be posting at the same time as this, where it's a non-talking version where there's just music playing and I'm quickly flipping through the pages. So if you're not interested in hearing behind the scenes in these pages, that might be the video for you. But in this one, I'm actually going to be talking through each of the pages and explaining what I was doing and my thinking and going through a bit more slowly through this gorgeous, gorgeous book. So yes, Any Day by Morgan O'Brien. I love this book. I love the Matchstick Mouse series. I think it's gorgeous, but Any Day resonates with me so much more. So I'm not surprised that this was the first one that I completed, because I absolutely love it. And when I figured out how I want to approach this book, just connected with me so strongly. So this is Any Day by Morgan O'Brien. Now I brought this from his Ko-fi store. I'll put a link down below. It is an excellent, excellent place to go and check out. There is free books on there, like entirely free books. There's so many free pages. Morgan gives away so much stuff and is so generous. But you can also buy his books digitally on there. And so that is what I do, because originally I'm not very confident ordering on Amazon. And so that's how I brought my first Matchstick Mouse and Any Day books. And now I have all the Any Day books, and I will continue to buy the Any Day in this format because I want to keep my Any Day to be consistent. Because you will see as we flip through this, the book Annie looks the same throughout the whole book. And so I brought the book digitally. I then get it printed on some pretty heavy duty cardstock. And that's because of how I approach colouring this book. It works well for that. So yeah, the other thing before we start flipping into it is that there is a very specific colour palette for Annie, and that is blue. Now I know Annie is an aardvark technically, but I always saw Annie as a bunny. Morgan has also said that he is open to your interpretation of Annie, so don't worry if it's not, your interpretation isn't an aardvark basically. So I've always viewed it as a blue bunny. But then the other thing as well is if you squint at Annie, it almost looks like Amy, A-M-I-E, which is of course the spelling of my name. So I've always jokingly called this book Amy Day. And because I used to have blue hair, when I started this book I had blue hair, that is why Annie is blue, because it is me. So that is something that I've carried on throughout this whole book, and I absolutely love it. But that's enough yapping. Let's turn the page and get to our very first one, which is this page here. So to colour in these pages, I've used the same approach throughout the whole book. I have used Crayola Super Tips or other water-based markers, primarily Crayola Super Tips, and I have put them onto a glass palette or a plate or a non-absorbent surface and then picked up the colour and used it as watercolour. And I've done that throughout the whole book. So primarily coloured with Crayola Super Tips. I then would use a white paint pen to do highlights and add in little details. And then depending on the page, some various paint pens or glitters or washi tape or stickers you'll see coming up too. So in this one, for example, I have used the Crayola Super Tips and then a white gel pen, paint pen to do little details on the couch cushion, the vase here, the glass, and then stickles by the look of it for the glitter, because I've used like a beautiful mint glitter for her outfit. And I really like doing Annie in matching sets for some reason. I don't wear matching sets, but I like Annie in matching sets. So yeah, and in this hedgehog we've nicknamed Water Art, which is a little rainbow pencil icon that I used to have on my channel. It's like a little animated emote that you used to be able to make talk. So we call his name is Wardart, and so we used to call the hedgehog Wardart, even though the hedgehog is plain brown and the icon is a rainbow pencil. I don't know, but that's also what we called the hedgehog. So yeah, that is the first page. And then page 2, so you can see the same thing again. We've got Crayola Super Tips and white gel pen or paint pen, a couple of paint pen highlights, and lots of glitter on this one. So Annie is not in a matching set here, but in a very harmonious set. She really loves this one. The little bees are so cute. Then we have the rainy day one. I was so pleased with how this came out. And this came out by me just mixing whatever colours I had on the palette. But I really feel like I got that stormy vibe outside. I was so pleased with it. And it was a complete fluke. Just me using random colours. But yeah. So because of how I like to colour with the Crayola Super Tips, I can't change the paper type. Like, this technique wouldn't work the same if I got like the actual book from Amazon. So that's a big reason why when I saw Any Day Autumn and Winter came out, I brought them digitally and printed them on the same paper. I actually live in the same folder that this book lives in because I want it all cohesive. And this one I used some metallic Posca and gave her little tartan pants, and then of course matched her bandana to it. The beekeeping one. I don't know if this is like universal, but here in Aotearoa, the bee houses that I've seen are always really colourful. So I was looking forward to being able to do lots of colour on the bee houses. But yeah, same thing. Paint pens, and this one is Mod Podge Sparkle on top of the Crayola Super Tips and the white Posca. Particularly pleased with my little white out there. I feel like it does create that mesh look. This one. I was a bit worried initially about doing this page because I wasn't sure how I was going to approach the page. But I did start off with washi tape. So that's what this is here, is washi tape. So I did place down, so before, let me start again. So to do the washi tape, I used a grey super tip first, and I shaded in the shadows of where the bag should have dimensions. So that was all done first, and then the washi tape was put on top. Because washi tape is a paper tape that's slightly clear, it meant that the shadows showed through. So I did all that first, and then I trimmed around ever so carefully around the outfit, around the page, to cut it out and leave the pattern. And then I would use like a black fine liner to clean up any lines or add lines on top if I needed to as well. So that's how I apply washi to the page. And so I started with this one, and I loved the colours in here, so that's what I decided to pull around for the page and make all the flowers sort of this pinky orangey reds, and then use a little bit of a minty green throughout, and just keep the rest of the shot very neutral. And I'm so glad I did. I love how it came together. Like, I was really surprised when I was finished with the page. I was like, I really like how this page comes together. So yeah, again, usual Crayola Super Tips and Posca paint pens. There's Mod Podge Sparkle on all the flowers. And then the big difference in this one is washi tape. There's also some Mod Podge Gold, not Mod Podge Gold, sorry, Posca Gold paint pens. This one, Annie making clues. I love the fact that in later on there's a Matchstick Mouse page where she's sewing clothes for Matchstick Mouse. Love that. But yes, the output page. So I started off with the washi tape for the dress because I knew I wanted to have like a beautiful floral dress. And then I also have these little stickers that I added on top. So it's got like a little 3D pearl stickers on here. So it's actually 3D. And then, so yeah, did the dress first with the washi tape, after shading underneath with the markers to create the shadows, washi tape. And then I did put Mod Podge Sparkle on top as well before putting the stickers on top of that. And I used that Mod Podge to also seal the stickers in. Even though these have like a little bit of an adhesive backing, I put them on while the Mod Podge was still setting the Mod Podge glitter so that it would also bind that together. So yeah, really, really love the dress. I also used that same washi tape to do a couple of the flags back here, like it was leftover washi tape. That she, not leftover washi tape, leftover fabric that she used to make the bunting, and you can see the roller fabric here too. And then the rest of those I just coloured in with the water-based markers and stuff like that. For her pants, I was originally trying to do a little bit of like a heart pattern, but it really didn't work out. So in the end, I just grabbed a iridescent pink brush pen that I have, and I kind of blobbed it and then added in some lighter paint pen blobs, and it kind of made like this iridescent pink camo pant, which wasn't my original intention, but I vibe with it. Like, pink camo pants sounds fabulous. But yeah, for such a busy, cluttered page, I'm actually really pleased with how it came out. If I did it again, I would change this green. This green is way too vibrant for the page, and if that wasn't there, it would actually be a very harmonious page. But that green is just very, very wrong. So yeah, would swap that for maybe a darker purple or something. But that's just nitpicking, you know? Still very pleased with the page. I love her dress on this one. Doing the washing, I really tried to play around with making these, like, you can see how much lighter it is here versus here. I really wanted to create that sort of translucency of a wet sheet that is still drying, or some sheer fabric. But yeah, I love her dress here. So that is a washi tape again, lots of cutting around, and then because these edges were rough, because there was like a ruffle to her apron and it was a pain in the butt to cut around. Instead, I just sliced it pretty smoothly. I didn't worry about trying to cut around all the ruffles, and then I came back in with paint pen and dabbled that in and created an uneven edge to create the illusion of white lace, because I couldn't be bothered cutting around all the tiny, tiny, tiny little ruffles. Like, no. And of course, matching headband. And Mod Podge Sparkle on the flowers again. The flower arranging one. I really love how this one came together. So for this one, again, water-based markers, paint pen, but this one also uses stickers for all the flowers. So originally there was a lot of flowers already drawn in, but I also had a washi tape that had all these different flower clusters on it. And I thought it would be really fun to sort of cut them up and stick them on and collage them in place like they were the bunches of flowers. And oh my gosh, yes. I love how it came together. So obviously in certain lights it's a little shiny because of the sticker reflect, but when you ever got sticker reflect, you've just got these beautiful bunches of flowers, and love our little butterfly up here too. So yeah, absolutely love how this page came together. And I hope we have, I don't know autumn and winter all that well because I've only done one page in each, but I hope we have more where Annie ties her ears back, because I just think this is adorable. Annie resting on the couch and vibing to music. I had a big long debate if this was a window or if this was a picture frame for a long time. In the end, I painted it as if it could be either. That could be a sunset outside a window, or that could be a picture frame. You choose. So this one, I actually used Gansai Tambi on the background for the wallpaper. I think that's actually quite a cool way to do the wallpaper. And then, of course, washi tape for the couch. This one also uses super golden markers as well for the edge of the couch and the frame of the window. While I keep Annie consistent, I don't keep her rooms consistent. As long as Annie looks the same, she just has a magical house that changes colour consistently. So Annie doing yoga. So this is the only page I did for Amanda Colors color along. Um, she has been running a complete any day hashtag. Um, but I haven't been following that. However, 1 month I was doing a bunch of Annie pages and I wanted to do some more, but I couldn't decide. So I went and had a look to see which page was the page of the month for the hashtag, and this was it. So this is the only time I joined in. The rest of the time, I just usually do what I feel like and I do bunches of them at once. So yeah, but it is a neat hashtag, and if you want to, slowly work through the book, it's a great way to do it. I kind of hope they do one for book two, like for autumn or winter, but I don't know if they will. But yeah, so this one, again, washi tape. Now this one, the tape doesn't quite line up perfectly, so I did have to overlap it, which means you do have a really clear tape line here, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, may do. Just because the tape doesn't repeat perfectly, so to make it a little bit more cohesive, I had to overlap it. But I do like the colour of the outfit. I do like the overall vibes of the page. Bread making. So you can see more of those floral stickers in the background here. I use them again on here. This one kept very cohesive in terms of the colour palette. Like it is very pinky purple blue. A little bit of mint, a little bit of brown. Yeah, I kind of want to get more of those stickers. They're really neat. All right, placing a wreath. Again, we have washi tape for her dress. That is Stickles for the glitter this time. And he's also super golden marker as well. And yeah, I've seen this done in like fall colors or more winter colors. I really like it in bright colors, but it works for all of them, which is really, really neat. And this is like, I love this tape. I ended up buying a bunch of tapes in just so I could do more dresses for Annie with tapes because I just like how it works out. This time I did cut around the apron, and I did use a little bit of paint pen in here. It might be very hard to see, but I drew a little pattern in to make it a little bit more lacy for her apron. Little touches. Blackberry picking. I love the outfit. So this one actually uses different tapes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different tapes that I collated together and then layered to create this look. So it's absolutely like patchwork vibes, but I love how it came together. Like the tapes work really well. And then I used a super golden marker to do the metallic purple in between, which just helped clean up the edges and separate the layers. Again, there was like a little roughly lace type pattern that was drawn in here, so this just kind of covered it up. And then for the rest of it, just the usual watercolor technique with the super tips. And I did use a paint pen to do all the blackberries. I drew in extra blackberries because I wanted these bushes to look a bit more fuller. I probably should have come in with a white paint pen and just do little highlights on the blackberries, just to make them a little bit more fruity because they are quite flat compared to the rest of this. But again, that's just me absolutely nitpicking. I still love the page. It's still one of my favorite Annie outfits, even though it was a nightmare to work around 7 different tapes. Absolutely love how the outfit works. This is one of the best ones I did in the book, I think. Like, yeah, this is back when I did actually date in 2023. 24th of December 2023. So in this one, I remember doing this one in a live stream, and we actually coloured the stew as if it was gochujang stew, which is a stew I still absolutely love to eat. It's made with gochujang, which is like a Korean spicy pepper paste. I do apologize if I am butchering this. I have learnt this purely through the internet. I have not actually, yeah. YouTube is a wonderful thing that has opened me up to many cuisines. But yeah, gochujang stew is absolutely divine. I love it. I love the fact that you can just chuck so many vegetables into it and tofu, and it's spicy, it's comforting, it's warm, it's delicious. And so I make it a lot. So that's what we are making here because it's like that can be cabbage, potatoes, carrots, onions, like all good things to chuck in the stew, and spring onions. So yeah, absolutely love it. And this one I use paint pens to create a tartan pattern on the curtains too. Again, a very cohesive room there. Annie in the rain. Again, I really love the rainy effect that I created here. Just playing around with different colours with the Crayola Super Tips. Very simple one to colour, very straightforward. And I did use Mod Podge Sparkle in the background for the rain as well. I did debate going over all the raindrops with like a paint pen and doing it in white or something, but I actually felt like that would lighten up the background a lot, and I liked the real stormy background effects. I was like, no, we're going to leave it as is, but just cover it in glitter so it looks wet and shiny and like light hitting raindrops. Annie writing, and I want this blanket in real life. I want this blanket. I love the blanket I created, like a dream blanket, that beautiful mink with all the bright rainbow colors and then glittery dream blanket. So, as well as obviously creating the beautiful blanket, I used different paint pens to create again a tartan cushion here. And then I also, rather than using washi tape for her outfit, I used super golden markers to create polka dots and edge like patterns on her outfit there. Just add a little bit more of something to her outfit. And she's writing with gloves, which is very, very fancy. I don't know if she's writing or if she's drawing, and it's one of those gloves to stop spread of like pencil dust or something. But yeah, I love it either way. The patchwork blanket one. Again, I had so much fun with this one. And it's another washi tape one. So this one, so many different washi tapes. So many different washi tapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different washi tapes to do this page. So yeah, it's just me pulling out different random tapes and sticking them in place. And then I used different coloured paint pens because there were patterns that were drawn underneath that did show through a lot of these. I did it on the fish scale one. I was like, that can stay there. So you can see the scale, the triangle patterns underneath the scales. I kind of like the way the scales lined up with the triangles, and I don't want to cover up the scales. So, but yeah, for like this pattern on here and here and here. So I did draw in patterns with paint pens on top for a lot of these. I also then, oh, excuse me. Oh, apologies for that. I did also use the paint pens to stitch together, and I used lots of different colours for that. Now, when I did this, I didn't realise that this at the back here wasn't actually part of the quilt. The quilt ends here or here, and these are pillows. But what I decided was she actually quilts everything. So maybe these are two separate parts. Maybe these are part of it and it's just all bunched up behind her and it's a ginormous quilt. I'm not sure, but Eva was like, nah, she quilts everything. And then I did use another washi tape because her outfit is also a washi tape with her headband. So I did layer that together to do her polka dot outfit. And then the rest of it is just the super tip markers and a bit of paint pen for the curtain details and stuff like that. The rest of it's pretty straightforward in comparison. But yeah, lots of washi tape. Right, a little bit of a drink before we carry on with the next one. Okay. So this one I coloured as if it was Pukekura Park, which is a beautiful local park here in Namuto, and you can just, it's like getting lost in the forest, and especially in autumn when all the tree colours are changing and you get all those different colours. So originally this was just all blank back here, but I decided to colour in it by stippling in different colours to create the illusion that you're just surrounded by the bush, like if you were going for a walk in Pukekohe Park. And then colour in the outfit. So again, I've used washi tape for the outfit. Originally, I believe it was more like a dress, like this is meant to carry on, but I decided to just turn it into a little top and skirt. I just thought it would be cute. And I'm glad I did. I think it's cute. I like it. I would never ever personally wear this, but I think it's cute on this. And even the bow is done with the same washi tape as well. So that's walking around Pukekohe Park. And then we have the making of the outfit for Matchstick Mouse, which, oh, it's just so cute. So again, washi tape for Annie's outfit, which has also been used for Matchstick's outfit as well. It was so fiddly to cut out. So fiddly. But I'm glad I did. And then I also used a different washi tape to do the tablecloth as well. And then, yeah, just the regular water-based markers, paint pens, filling in details around. So cute. This one I think is still one of my favorites. I love this page so much. I love the way that I got the background and the gradient in the background. I love the glitter for what she's painting, because of course she's painting with glitter. But my favorite is just the paint splatter. The mess of it. So I decided Annie was going to be a messy painter because I thought it would be fun. So I coloured the page normally with the water-based markers. I did all the highlights. I coloured it really nice and cleanly. And then I took acrylic paint pens and I splotted it on, and I would use my finger to pick it up. And then some areas, like here in particular, you can see where my finger, as I was dabbing the yellow, it spread out. And it's like, that's fine. That's what we want. So I dabbled that all over as if she drops paint all the time, all over her paint and all over her. And she's even got it on her fur. Yeah, I had way too much fun creating an absolute mess on Annie on this page. And I absolutely love it. You can see a little glitter paint there because she's painting with glitter as well. Yeah, I love this page so much. I just think it was so fun. I love the effect of the acrylic paint pens, and it just makes me very happy, this page. Chickens! This page has a chicken butt. This is one of the very few non-cohesive outfits for Annie. It's like, that's okay. She's feeding the chickens. It's not about being necessarily the most fashionable here. It's about being functional so that the animals can get fed. But I still used a washi tape for the pants and the bandana. This one isn't my favourite page of the book. Even as I was colouring it, I was just like, this page doesn't appeal to me too much. So this one was just one of those get it done to finish the book pages. It's still cute, but it's just not my favourite page in the book. I don't colour a lot of chickens though. I don't know. It just didn't sing to me, this one, as much as other pages. But it's okay. I still like it. I'm not saying I don't like the page. I like what I did with the page. I love the washi tape pants. I think these are very cool pants. I would rock those pants. I just have other pages I prefer. Maybe if I'd done like pinks and purples, I maybe like it a bit more. It's very brown orange. I don't know. But yeah, not my favourite page in the book. Still like it though. I love the outfit I created on this one. So again, we have some washi tape for her outfit and the water-based markers, and then Mod Podge Sparkle on the flowers. But for this one, because this has a tartan pattern, I knew I couldn't just like cover flat and line up the pattern, because like the skirt down here would have, the tartan would go different ways. So I did actually do each section of skirt individually, so the tartan wouldn't necessarily line up. And it's just a little thing, and yeah, it's not 100%, and yeah, the tartan would curve technically, but I think it still looks pretty good for what I did on it. And there was a little gold pattern that would occasionally pop up on this little tartan print, so these little flecks of gold in her outfit as well, and so that's what I chose to match for the pattern on the dress as well. The red of the bandana was probably not the right choice. I think I did that one first before I settled on the dress one, and by then this was in place and set, so I was like, okay, whatever. I did try to tie in the red with the flowers in the background, but yeah, that probably wasn't the right choice, but that's okay. It's more, she has on a pretty dress, and then she used the first bandana she could find to tie her hair back because she's going to work on her loom to make wool. And then we have reading with water. So much glitter in that background. Yeah, so this one, I grabbed the wrong fine liner when I was outlining it, so we've got some big black lines here, which is a bit of a shame, but it's still, again, not the worst thing in the world. It is very noticeable, but it could be worse. I still really like it. I love this washi tape for her dress. I think her dress is gorgeous, and I will definitely use that washi tape again for another dress. Super golden marker for the journal, because I just thought that would be really cool to have this lustrous gold book, especially with this background. And I really like my moss on the tree there. Sorry, I'm still not 100%, so I'm losing my voice here a little bit. But we are getting our way through this. Right, go for a walk. So this one, I definitely took inspiration from the foreshore, which is this massive 14-kilometer walk that you can do right along the ocean. Is it just follows along the sea. It's really, really neat, and it's so nice to walk on. So I really wanted to capture that beautiful blue glittery sea when it's summery and the sun is reflecting on the water. So I definitely feel like I got that. Then of course it's a lot of green. I used some paint pens just to bring in a little bit of colour for flowers along the pathway. And once again, we've got washi tape for her full outfit, and then also for her bag, which actually has little seashells on it, which reflect in certain lights. So, yeah, she's very cohesive here. It's very blue and green, but I do like it. I like her little set. I think that's very cute. And we have Annie feeding a pig. So, of course, washi tape for the outfit. Another tartan print one. And then the water-based markers and Mod Podge on the bottle, because why not? I got a bit confused at first when I was colouring this, because I was like, it feels like the pig is carrying on. You just got this weird extra long pig. So I did originally do this brown, but then I realized, oh wait, no, the pig is here, and then she's got an apron on top. So I should have technically done a different color, but I did manage to tint it a more yellowy brown as opposed to this. But yeah, there's an apron there, the pig there, not a very long pig, which is what my brain saw at first. Annie in the bath, and beautiful glittery bubbly bath. So this one I kept Annie's house very neutral, considering how colourful the rest of her rooms have been. But I kind of also think the browns and the greens work well here. Yeah, I think this was like one of the very last pages that I did in the book. There was like a bunch of pages that I did at once, and this was in that cluster. It was like the last pages of the book. So, and yeah, super golden marker up there, but pretty straightforward. Again, I use the same technique throughout the whole thing, so it's just a lot of Crayola super tips. This one, I did colour with a different medium for some of it. So we still have our Crayola Super Tips for colouring the majority of it. Even the wood grain pattern, I did that with Crayola Super Tips as watercolour. I did pull out washi tape, so all this trim of her bandana and her outfit, all done with a washi tape. I love how that turned out. But then for her colouring, what I actually did was I grabbed polychromos pencils and I coloured it with pencils, purposely leaving it a little like splotchy and rough so it would be clear it's been coloured differently. And then the colours that I coloured that with, I matched to the pencils on the table with water-based marker. Yeah, also another favourite from the book. I really love the effect of it. I just think it's so cute that she's colouring Matchstick Mouse. Annie getting ready for bed. I love this pajama set. I want this pajama set in real life. So yeah, washi tape that, because it had no edge pattern, just layers beautifully. Very easy to cover a large area with. And I like the galaxy effect of it. I think it's really cool. And so I just lay the whole lot down, cut around, and then I went on top with paint pens to draw back in the trim. I didn't even cut around these. I drew these back on top and coloured it in with paint pens, which was a little difficult. The paint pen, because it couldn't absorb, just kind of sat and bunched a bit weird. So I think I did like a couple of coats of paint pen, but it worked in the end. And it saved me having to cut around all this little lace trim. And then, of course, Mod Podge in the background, so it's also sparkly, because why not? Annie knitting. I hope we get one of Annie crocheting as well, because I crochet, I don't knit, but I appreciate seeing the yarn work. So washi tape for the bandana. This washi tape actually has words on it, so I kind of cut out pieces that didn't have the words and just had the little gold trim. And if it did have little areas of words, it just kind of looks like abstract pattern because it's such little amounts of it. So it's a great way to use up a washi tape that I wouldn't normally use because of the fact it has words on it. And then Mod Podge for her outfits. I gave her a glittery sweatshirt because that was fun. And I just focused on creating rainbow wool in the background. I just wanted as many bright colours as I could. And I love the fact you've also got her little row counts down here. And we have Annie with the horse. We're getting very close to the end here. So, usual Crayola Super Dips. This one has this Mod Podge in the background. And yeah, I just googled horse patterns, horse colors, and just chose one that I thought would work well. I thought the browns would tie in nicely. If I did a more yellowy outfit, and then the pink would be a cool contrast in the background to Annie's blue, and tie in the little bit of pink on Annie. Yeah, really, really simple. I did go over the clouds with a paint pen before I put the Mod Podge glitter on top. And that is the last page. So yeah, right now this is still loose. It lives in a clear file with my Any Day Autumn and Winter. I haven't decided if I'm going to bind this, if I go to and get this just bound and have this as an individual book, or if I bind Autumn and Winter to it as well when this is completed. I'm leaning towards binding this as its own book and then binding Autumn and Winter as they're completed. But I'm not in any rush to do that. If Morgan comes out with more Any Day, which I really hope he does, please, then I will make a point of removing this from the folder so I can slot the new Any Day in there. I hope we get like a spring and a summer because we have autumn and winter. I hope we get as many Any Days as there are Matchstick Mouses. Freaking love Any Day. But yeah, that is my first ever completed colouring book, a complete flip through of it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much. Have you got this book? Are you working your way through it? Have you got autumn or winter? Have you completed a book before? I'm very pleased to have completed a book. This is something I've wanted to achieve for a while. So it's very nice to finally tick that goal off. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. Oli araha to you all. Take care. See you next time. Bye.